Hello all car enthusiasts out there. This is my first video on YouTube. So inputs, suggestions and feedbacks are all welcome. These days we are all spoiled for choices when we go out there to buy a new car. So what do? We usually have a test drive at a dealer, maybe go through some first drive reviews on YouTube and also ask our family members as to which one is better than the rest of the pack. But we forget here the most important aspect, the long-term durability. How will my car behave or how will my car drive after I've driven it for 30,000 kilometers or say maybe 50,000 kilometers? What is the maintenance cost of this car? Is it worth to buy this car just because it looks good? And questions like that. So today I will share my experience with my Elite i20 diesel model. I've driven this car for more than 2 years now and almost touched 30,000 kilometers. So this review might help the people who have this car in their list because it is still one of the best cars in this segment. I hope this helps. So let's get on with it. So let's start up with the tires. So most of my driving has been through the city and some 20% of driving is on the highways. So if you look at the tires, the wear and tear is not much. It's kind of bearable. These are the Apollo tires and I've not changed them since I brought them. Since I brought this car in June of 2015. So I guess the tires have held up well. I'll quickly show you the model type. This is a Hyundai Magna diesel model. Now quickly we'll jump into the car right away. Just give me a few minutes to set the AC up. So I'm inside the cabin. I will not go about how the cabin looks and how is the interior and all because there are loads of other reviews online where you can see this. This review is all about the long-term experience of this particular car. So let's start with the issues first. The things which annoyed me a lot about this car, or maybe kind of shortcomings of this car, or the things which you can put as negatives. So right in front of your screen is the steering wheel, and having said this, these negatives might not be experienced by everybody out there, just the things which I went through, but I would like to share with you all. So let's go with some material check over here. As you can see on the steering wheel, there's a small crack. I don't know when it developed, or was it due to the long exposure in the sun, something that, but it should not have happened in my opinion, because overall the build quality of this car is very good. If you look closely, there's a very small crack underneath here as well. It is very small, but if you're a keen looker and your attention to detail is very high, then this might bother you and you might question the quality of the materials used. So let's have a look at the odometer. As you can see, it is nearing to 30,000 kilometers, 28,001 to be precise. A quick look at the infotainment system. Now please note, this is not the company fitted one. I changed it last year. This is an Android system, as my model didn't had the infotainment system. I mean, I brought this into June 2015, and at that time Elite i20 models didn't had touchscreen and all those systems which they had today, in my opinion. So this is it. I mean, I will not dig deep into this infotainment system much. So get along with the issues. The clutch. Now the clutch these days play a very big part in your day-to-day driving. I drive in the city for more than 50 to 55 kilometers on a per day basis. So having a light clutch is what I require. But in this 2.5 years, 2 years, 4 months to be precise, the clutch has kind of become harder uh, over time. From day one, when I brought this car, on day one it was much on the lighter side, but it's still not a bother. It's still bearable, but it's kind of an issue which I can think of. There are a lot of cars out there these days which have a very soft clutch, but compared to that, this is not in that league. Then I had an issue with the AC once, where the AC stopped working all of a sudden, but that was only for one time when we were traveling for long distances. Later on, I don't know what had happened, but it was all fine and it started working again. It might have been a minor hiccup, but worth sharing. Then about the sitting position of the seats. As you can see here, Hyundai has always been a big fan of the bucket seats, and honestly, I'm not a big fan of the Hyundai seats or the seats comfort for the driver. As you can see, I have this, if you can see it well, I have this back support, lower back support for me, which makes me comfortable on long distances. So I can say that for bumper to bumper traffic, or maybe driving 2 to 3 hours on a stretch, the body can get cramped up for some. But again, this is my personal experience. Then over to the wipers. I mean, it might be expected that I had a wiper blade change after 30,000 kilometers. They were making some noise, but that's dealt up with now. Then two more mechanical failures which I faced. One was one suspension issue which I had. A suspension rotator bush was damaged, and one circuit was broken in the AC panel. Sorry, not in the AC panel, but in the locking mechanism. The car was not locking properly, and it used to give some eerie noise when I used to press the auto lock button right here. This is the sound. This is the usual sound which you hear, but when it was damaged, the sound was something weird and something like of a short circuit kind of a thing. So okay, let's continue with the review. So I guess we are done with the issues or the things which I faced during these 2 years. Now let's come to the good things, the positive points. First of all, this car is still one of the best out there in this segment. It has got good looks. Then it has got good interiors. I've always been a big fan of the dual tone interiors. It's a personal thing, but I don't like the all black interiors thing which cars these days have. The dual tone interiors look much classier than the all black interiors. Other than that, this car is a pleasure to drive in the city. It's smooth. The gear shifts are smooth, and over a period of time, the gear shifts have remained smooth. No issues in the gear shifting, and it's very comfortable for the co-passengers as well for long distances, with plenty of space for 3 occupants of say around mid size. The third occupant might be cramped up if the other 2 occupants are quite big in size, but that's how the rear occupant space is there these days. Other than that, the steering is very smooth. It still has remained smooth compared to day one. It rides well, and it's a big pleasure. It's a real pleasure to drive this car on the highway. the diesel power kicks in whenever you want it, and the most important aspect, or one of the most important thing, uh, the reason for which I bought this car was the diesel refinement. The diesel engine is so refined, and is, in my opinion, is by far the best out there. It's quite hard for the people to tell the difference between a diesel and a petrol when they're sitting in a Hyundai Elite. It's so silent. And now, probably the most important question which all of us have is like, kitna deti hai? So let me go to one of the photos which I have clicked. In the city, I usually get in a range of 15 to 17 with AC on for around 50%. And on the highway, it's about 20 kilometers per liter, or in the range of 20 to 22. And moving on to the maintenance cost, I'm really satisfied and pleased about the after sales service of Hyundai, and I would like to point out to all the potential buyers out there that this is a very important factor when you buy a car. How is the after sales service? And Maruti and Hyundai are probably the two best companies in terms of after sales service. And till now I've done around 3 servicings and I'm satisfied with all of them. My car is driving like a breeze. So let me show you some statistics. If you can see it properly, this is a snapshot of my Hyundai application, mobile application. I have around 3 servicings till now. My total cost has come to 14,115 in 2 years and 4 months. I'm due for another servicing, as it is close to 30,000 kilometers now, the next few days. So you can add about 6 to 7,000 kilometers to this, and say round it about to 20 or 21,000 rupees for these 2.5 years. And you can see that the topmost servicing cost is around 10,000. It might sound high, but that is because of some extra additives which I have included in my engine, which I told the representatives to put it in. And that's the cost of that. That might not be necessary for everybody, or people can opt that out. So that is the maintenance cost. So let me check if I have left out anything. We have been through the mileage, we have been through the maintenance cost, and I guess I think I've covered a lot of points. I will not go into the mechanical details of the engine and all, otherwise it will be quite a long review. My intention is to keep this video short and compact. So this is it, guys. Let me know what you feel, and on a whole, I would recommend this car to anybody who is interested in this particular model. I mean, in spite of some negatives, no car out there is perfect, and I've heard some basic problems for Maruti and Volkswagen cars, like engine rattling and vibration problems when going at high speeds, but I've never experienced that in this particular car. The car has held up very well. The insulation is very good, and right now the engine is running, but I'm sure that you can barely hear it. Thanks a lot for bearing with me if you're still watching this video to this point. As I said, inputs and suggestions are all welcome. Thank you and goodbye.